Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Sorcerer Mage 20th game. Chantry House Baltimore. We are currently down a player. Hera's not making it again. We'll start without her. Trying to think. Last time you got a lot of clues and evidence about the two cases you were doing, correct?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Does somebody want to recap some of that information, Katrina?
Spoofy. So I know that we got the information from the cell phone and learned that it belonged to a influencer. And Fatal went to go meet with said influencer to return her phone. Oh, and I think she got a clearer picture of the person that put the nail in the tree. Oh. And of course, as soon as I started trying to explain what happened, baby cried.
The baby is not a fan of our main enemy right now.
Here, have a Cheeto. Would you like a Cheeto in this trying time?
We did get a good image from a different person's phone of the creepers in like a profile with less disguise. So that should help us identify the person a little easier. Other than that, it's a very tall person. And it's not impossible that the woman that was the influencer being chased, she lost time when she was running away and then woke up later. So we don't know if the creeper did magic at her or something, made her forget something or something like that. It's unclear. She blacked out at some point after being chased. That's all that we know so far. But that's about all we have to go on the creeper, unfortunately. But the other guy, the guy who uses the Hand of Glory to rob people, we solved most of the how and the what with that. We found his PO box, we opened it, and there was some stuff in there. We found a letter in a different language and a small package of some kind. And then just assorted bills and other indications that this person does not have any money, like final notices, things like that. So then we went back to the hotel to try to find out what was on the other language letter and what's in the package, which we have not opened yet. And that's about where we are with clues.
Yeah. You're debating flashlight or not.
I think it's not the right size and shape for that. But that's your call.
All right. So with that, we will begin with the group standing around trying to translate a letter and going to open a package. Who opens the package?
I think I would try to do science at the package to determine if it's safe to open. Like maybe weigh it and like do like a
listen for ticking.
Yeah, listen for ticking. Feel around to see if I can feel like weird shapes that might be trigger of some kind. I don't know. Probably have a metal detector. I could shake it a little bit, but that wouldn't be the first choice. That's like step 3. I probably have like a small metal detector of some kind. And it's reasonable to have one of those temperature sensors. You point at something and it tells you what temperature it is, just to see if there's any
probe.
Yeah, thermal probe. So I don't think it's a bomb, but who knows? A person's using a magic item, they could be doing all sorts of things.
I mean, would it even matter if we did any of these precautions if it was a magical bomb?
If something popped up is saying don't open it because it's a bomb, I would probably not open it in person. Is there anything I can tell just from the outside without opening it about if it's safe or not? That's mainly what I'm going for.
It looks like someone sent a package. The return address and the actual address are the same.
Oh.
They use that technique. Which, by the way, at home,
hide things in the mail for a while.
Yeah, it's good to send yourself stuff, and or if you want to make sure someone really gets it, because they can't return it to you if it's same address for both.
That's a good point. That's not what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking they would mail it to themselves, and while it's in transit, it would be unattainable by anyone else. It would be safe during the transit time because it would be like in different places.
How do you think the mail system in real life works, Luke?
I think they pick it up at one point of the day and then they take it to their building, and then the next day they go through it and then separate it out for where it's going to go, and then at some point it gets taken there from the building,
There's a little bit more to it.
and it's
but
basically anonymous during all of that time.
It sounded like you thought it just disappeared and reappeared.
From the perspective of a mailing person, I put it in the slot and it's gone. I opened the package
ah,
with gloves on and a face mask because he did weird stuff that smelled weird.
yes, anthrax. We know.
Yeah.
You just hear some music in the background. So that's small joke. Small joke. That's most of my life. So you open it up, and you
Explode.
I don't have a backup.
see what appears to be a grimoire. A grimoire.
Grimoire. A Gamora.
Yes.
My least favorite casino in New Vegas.
Oh,
Ah, it's a book. That's disappointing.
I think that's interesting.
can we read it? Is the grimoire in a language we can read?
Yeah, what's on the cover and the spine and the back?
Yeah, is it like bound in human skin?
Is there a book jacket? With a
No book
blurb.
jacket. How would you tell if it's humans leather?
If you-
Okay, I'm asking if it's the Book of the Dead from The Evil Dead.
You could tell
The
it's skin if you rub
Necronomicon?
it and it doesn't.
Yeah,
feel like
that one.
anything.
No, it's not the Necronomicon.
Okay,
wouldn't
Ex
be that lucky.
Mortis. It's not the.
it's not like super obviously evil.
What's the book say on the front? What's the cover and the
Yeah,
spine?
does it have a title?
You know, if you guys give me a second to answer things, we might get answers.
There's a bunch of
Hey.
mages looking at a new book that just
Hey,
arrived.
Camp,
Of
why
course
you're not
they're
giving
gonna
us answers?
Yeah, you're like, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What's it taste like?
Ah.
be- That's the right order.
Yes. The cover is it's hardback, not softback. It is a leathery material with, on the cover. You can't tell if it's faux leather, cow leather. You'd have to analyze further if you want to know the exact
People leather.
leather. Actually, you can actually tell the leather by the size of pores when it comes to like cow and pig and stuff, but that's beside the point. I took leather crafting when I was in Boy Scouts.
Leilani,
Hmm.
over here.
The actual cover itself is a midnight blue color, dyed midnight blue. The spine is a silvery color. There is no writing on the actual outer part of the book. So the spine nor the cover have any discernible writing. But when you open it, there is writing on the inner flaps. The front page, over page, whatever it's called. And it is written in the most bizarre language you can tell.
Italian.
Middle English.
Middle English. Did you say Middle English? You cut out for a second.
Middle English.
Okay, I think I heard you through Kat's microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So it's in Middle English, which means you can understand when you speak it out loud about 2/3 of the words. It's like listening to modern day Scots, not Scots Gaelic, Scots.
That kind of
Wow.
dates it as well.
Yeah.
We can assume. Is it printed like a typewriter, or is it like a handwritten book?
It is
Go lay down.
or
It's typed, but it's like
typeface?
Gutenberg style
Okay.
type.
Okay, like a press.
So not modern, but
All right. I have one final
Old.
question.
Mhm.
Is there any handwritten notes or notations in the first few pages, like someone signing it or anything like that?
They're on the front cover. It's basically the without trying to use Middle English. It kind of seems to sound like they're trying to say it is first volume of beginners dark arts written and created by John D. And it says the year 1585.
Go lay down.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Th- This makes me think that this thief just recently started trying to learn magic and ordered a magic book level 1 from somewhere.
Flipping through, are there any kinds of like illustrations or anything?
There are some.
Are they of like plants, of creatures, of what?
Snails.
Oh, okay. But no like okay, so what I'm wondering is it like a bestiary? Is it like a summoning guide? Is it like herbalism sort of thing?
It looks like it's a
or
lot
is
of
it like spells and
and
rituals?
it's looks like a beginning guide to different magics, potentially infernalism and stuff. Maybe summonings. It like hits on a little bit of the major schools, so to speak. You know, modern day like necromancy, infernalism, summoning, conjurations.
Cool. Do we have a grimoire missing from the directory?
No,
Okay.
surprisingly, there weren't a lot of magical books in the actual thing.
Vault.
Generally, those are books are written generally in a way that they are not innately dangerous just for being books. It's what you do with the knowledge, as opposed to the cursed coin that anyone who picks it up becomes impotent and with hairy palms. There's a difference.
Okay.
Well, I wonder where this came from. Do you think that this thief got this book first and then somehow stole the hand?
My thought is if he got this book first, that whoever gave him this book also gave him the hand.
Somebody's messing with people.
That would be my thought. Or like he's a Diet Coke apprentice. Or more likely less of an apprentice and more of a patsy.
It
He's
could
a
be-
distraction.
Yeah, it could be they're giving out some of the weaker stuff to people.
Yeah,
just
they're
to keep
giving out
us-
shit to keep
everybody looking the
everybody
wrong way.
distracted.
Yeah. Which means the person or persons behind the thievery are doing an unknown thing with it. And we don't know if they gave the nail to the creeper, or if the creeper was part of
If the
them.
creeper is our main guy.
Yeah. But they might just be handing out the nail and
Yeah.
who knows what else to whoever they can. But then the grimoire. Somebody had that and gave it to someone.
Well, that's not like I mean like it seems like
Oh, you muted yourself.
it seems like a rare volume, but it's not unheard of to find grimoires like this. Just
In a wizard's library.
yeah, I mean like these exist. Even among like sleepers, you can find some of these. Of course, most sleepers would look at it and be like, "Oh, look at that! That's a curious thing. This must have been back from when they believed in witchcraft, or maybe it's a prank or whatever." But I don't really know where to go from here. I guess I think we have to find our guy. I think
Yeah.
when we find the guy who has the hand, that will answer a lot of our questions. It'll tell us where he can tell us where he got the grimoire, can tell us where he got the hand. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I feel like
Mhm.
he needs to be our priority.
I'm curious how many times the hand can be used because it's like a candle or something, so it'll burn down. But maybe you can only use it a few times.
Katrina just kidnapped the baby and went upstairs.
And
Huh.
she's the one who would know what the hand is doing,
Yeah.
like how many times it can be used. Because if you can rob a house with the hand, this thief could probably rob much other things.
Could be very handy in those other
Mm-hmm.
purposes.
Yeah. It could be his 5-finger discount in a lot of other places.
Well, the back of a truck.
He could rob anything.
So, who
If-
was analyzing the letter?
I was looking at the package. The letter I thought we don't know what language it was.
You don't.
So I don't. Well, no, I don't. The royal we.
Google Translate
So-
might.
Well, Google Translate needs to. You have to choose the languages to and from.
Amaryllis takes out her phone, takes a picture of it, and pumps it into Google Translate. Luke,
No,
you do not need to punch in the thing. It will auto-detect it now. Fun
it will
fact.
attempt to at least.
It'll
It's not
attempt to do
always
its
correct,
best.
but it does its best. Good little Google Translate.
Good for them. I'm glad they have all my information and can tell me when I'll die. But won't tell me.
Google Translate or just Google in general?
Just general.
Okay.
General Google.
Just Google. It translates the date of your death.
That'd be impressive. I would say that.
If they come offering you life insurance, don't sign. I guess, I don't know. There's probably a way to make money. So what's the letter do?
Well, it's a piece of paper that has writing upon it. You can read that writing too.
If you make it like stiffer, you can use it as a blade.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
How?
So looking at it, it appears that it is written in Persian. Which, or Farsi, I think is another name for it.
Farsi, yeah.
So it does detect it. And it kind of translates to, at least, how Google Translate does things, and you're kind of like, sometimes, especially when you're trying to figure out what flavor Kit Kats you have.
I
Yes.
miss those.
Try box soup. They have a lot of the stuff you missed there. But it basically says, as per our agreement, you have received the items in return for the payment and the acquisition of the items that we agreed upon. Therefore, we will be mailing you the grimoire that you requested. Make good use of it.
All right.
So he stole shit for them.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like.
Well, they didn't say what he stole for them.
I mean, that makes sense. You don't want to say, thank you for
Yeah.
stealing all this stuff for us.
Itemized.
Notarized list, including the names and people they stole it from.
Well, we don't know if this was to the person who stole from the vault, or if this is to Mr. Hand in return for what he stole from the people's house.
I'd assume
seems
it'd be for
unlikely.
Mr. Hand, considering I don't think that the people who broke into our house broke into our base were were definitely mages of a decent.
Well, yeah, and also we
Mhm.
know that whoever broke into our house were not using the hand because they fucking killed you. They didn't put you to sleep.
Yeah,
Well, that is a way of putting someone to sleep.
I mean, it is a very permanent way to put someone
Yeah,
to sleep.
but
Usually.
it's a very different MO than this guy.
Also, something tells me that they have other ways to do this similar thing.
Yeah, they don't need the hand.
Feels like it's something a sleeper would need, not, or at least someone close to that, like us.
This implies that the person with the hand used it to steal something that was needed by people who had a grimoire.
I
give.
feel like it's less that they
Well-
had the grimoire, more they offered it to a person who wanted magic.
Yeah,
They had
so,
the grimoire that was available as a payment.
Hmm.
Yeah, so my thought is not that they needed him to steal it because they couldn't. They needed him because he's an easy patsy, and if he fails, then
They lose
bad.
nothing.
But
Yeah,
what did they?
nothing.
What did
but
the
if he
hand steal
succeeds,
for them?
then they don't have to do the work.
Does this mean the person with the hand stole something other than what was from the suburbs house?
It sure seems like it.
Unless that thing for the suburbs was what they were trying to steal.
That's a
The stuff from the
Yes.
suburbs, though,
Meanwhile,
is very
the ancient evil cabal of wizards. Yes, a PS5. Finally got one of these. Fucking...
you got to
That-
go out of your way to get those things. Especially
They're
that-
like, yes, we can now play the new Final Fantasy.
I mean, if I could give up I'd keep the grimoire personally.
I'd take the PS5.
The people's house they didn't mention anything that would be interested to this. So unless they had something secretly or he robbed somewhere else we don't know about.
I mean, either way.
Actually, this person robbed multiple houses and we only talked to
Wait.
one of them.
Hold on. Here's a bigger question. Hey, Kev, when is this letter post dated?
It was the time frame, the timetable.
It was post-dated about a week ago.
Okay, so we can actually then confirm that it wasn't from that house. It was probably something earlier, right? Pretty sure the house was recent, more recent than that.
Yeah, I feel like it was just a day or two ago.
So maybe the first place that they robbed was like over a week ago and was the real hit, and then everything after that was just using up the
It was
handle
just
he
him
had.
having fun.
Making money while he still can.
So we should see what else he robbed. We got to find that list that Torque was going to get from the cops that showed like the other places that were robbed and like the police reports.
I feel like that's gonna be a long fucking list.
Well, the place that was robbed by the hand, because they said it was like a string of robberies, and we were only going after the only one of those that we could get to. So if they were connected to the other ones, then that would be a shorter list.
So I will say the report that Torque did get, there were 4 robberies that fit similar pattern within the time frame you're kind of looking at.
Mhm.
All of which were along the same bus route.
Hmm.
Well, there is also another clue for that.
Well, then we should it's probably best to start at the earliest one. So if he was supposed to rob something important, he might have done that first.
He probably did it second or third. First to make sure to get all the bugs out. Second and third, it's like sound check.
It depends how smart he is and how confident he is in what he's doing.
I feel
Like
like
the wise
within-
thing to do would be to make the real target in the middle somewhere.
Yes, especially if you're using a new toy that even the most careless thief doesn't go after the most careless person doesn't go after the big thing first. You want to make sure it goes, what it can do first.
We
Especially
can
with
only
it.
second guess so many times, unfortunately. But we need to hit them all, so we should probably just might as well start at the first one. I don't think this person is a Columbo villain who would hide his crime within other crimes.
Are we going to go to each house, or do we want to try and scope out the bus route and see if we can just catch our guy?
I have a follow-up thing too we could potentially look at. If we can find out if there's any what are they called? Any mages on that route or in that thing, or someone who could be related to one of those.
Oh, if anyone in the address, any of the robbed places are mages' houses?
I mean, that or if there's any mage houses near that in that region of where this thing's Because something tells me a mage isn't going to report a missing dark evil artifact
No,
to the
but
police.
also look at our house. How are we going to know that a mage lives there?
Yes,
Ah.
crying baby. That's exactly.
That is exactly how. There's a crying baby.
Do the police reports have like a list of the reported stolen items?
Yes, it does list most of the items, or at least the items reported.
Yeah.
A lot of it
report
is
the things.
most of the items are somewhat high ticket items that are easy to carry on one's person.
Any standout like antique type items? Things that like don't match like easy to sell, but something that seems like it might be. I mean, because magic items are usually old or antique type things a lot of the time.
I don't feel like a mage is going to report a missing item because that's going to just draw all sorts of problems for them.
I mean, I'm thinking that what if it's, for example, some sort of strange picture frame, like an antique picture frame that the picture inside is do magic something or whatever. They might report a missing picture frame among other items without any significance attributed to it, just in case it pops up somewhere.
But the other part of me says
Nobody would
anybody
assume it's magic, though.
The sleepers will assume it's not magic. Someone who who knows magic might know what that is instantly.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if that would pop to mind. Just going to the cops with it.
Either way, let's try to find out who they stole from. See if there's any. I mean, we know there's some. They're doing the same bus route, so we could always. Are they, Kev? Are they like all on, like, when you say all on the same bus route? Like, are they like very like similar, like kind of in a similar area, or is it like going in a line, or is it kind of jumping back and forth?
So bus routes here, like let's say the red or the purple or 25, whatever, they basically run, they're not always straight lines, sometimes they curve, but it's one route back and forth. So it's along that corridor.
All right.
So it's basically, there are lots of houses and business along it, but it does narrow down an entire city to one narrow corridor.
Yeah. And like, how far does it seem like they go off the path? Like, what's the furthest from that? Like, I should ask, what is the furthest one of the crimes he did?
Yeah, what's the distance from the two furthest?
We're making Kev do
Mile-ish?
trigonometry.
Yeah, you're trying to make me do like distances that they're close enough to where it's
Okay.
How long of a bus ride? 30
um,
minutes, an hour?
within 30 minutes of each other.
Okay.
And trying
And then-
figuring out MTA schedules and stuff.
Yeah. And then the next follow-up
This
is,
Ars Magica.
how often did have they have they done this? Like, how frequently have they stolen? Like, is it once a day?
Well, you know, it hasn't been long considering
Yeah.
the length of time that all started. So it's only been a couple weeks since stuff's been reporting. So
So what's our plan?
We got to check out each of the robbed places.
I feel like going to every single rob place isn't going to turn up much for us.
There's only
Same.
3 other ones.
That's still probably going through all 3 of them is just going to get us. Yeah, this was missing. This was stolen. Right.
I mean, like we can, but I don't think it's gonna get us anything new.
If you want to leave a stone unturned, that's fine, but we might have to after we
I
pursue
will
other ends.
remind you that there are other sorcerers, wizards, mages that you do know in the universe. You could consult with them about certain things if you need to.
Yeah, but I thought they all
Especially
hate our
since-
guts.
Not all of them.
Some of them do, but you also know that some don't. There's also, I mean, there is a level of mistrust, but they still exist, and they are resources if you just don't go out and be like, hey, you also do know the one did bring Amaryllis back to life.
If we're
assume-
seen as trying to fix our own our mistakes, then that's good.
Yeah, I guess you could, go find someone, see if anybody's heard of any missing magical items.
Just saying that is an avenue you haven't considered yet.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I
Q
have.
did have a point. Like,
Thank you.
if some. Actually, hang on. I think it was Amaryllis had a point.
I had one
If
too. I'm
a
sure.
wizard has something go missing, they're not necessarily going to report it to the police.
They'll tell
And
someone
we
else.
know that this guy has been stealing artifacts. So I guess let's talk to the wizards we know, see if any of them have had anything go missing.
Or heard something about something.
Yeah,
going
just say,
missing.
we're looking into this. We've heard of this individual that's robbing different places. We believe he's hitting mages. Have you heard anything? Anything go missing?
Yeah.
And that actually will tell us too whether or not this would work on a mage, because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess there's nothing saying that this like sleep magic wouldn't work on us. We should assume that it will, but it would be good to know.
Yeah. All
And
right.
they might have gotten more than just, it smelled like sulfur and I went to sleep for a long time.
Mm-hmm. More specialized knowledge rather
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
sleeper.
Occasionally happens.
Yeah, so I guess which wizard do we want to call first?
I mean, start with the friendliest, go from there.
I do have 2 points in context, which is Mage Society context. So I can put out some questions there to see if anybody has had anything
Alright.
stolen recently.
That works too, yeah.
We could also contact the people that we know explicitly, which is like the mentors, I guess, and the people who are unhappy with our previous service.
Lilani.
I think start with the most friendly, the one who brought me back, at the very least, could be.
So, so what you do? Go to the one who brought you back.
Well, probably while Q is currently trying to, like, get their contacts to, like, set up a meeting. Yeah, Amaryllis will try to go talk to the one who brought her back.
So, Q is doing his contacts. You're doing that. Is other Kevin Harris doing anything?
Kevin Squares.
I was thinking of maybe going to talk to my mentor, whose name I don't remember.
Worst
So I can look it up.
mentee ever. I know what it is.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Magnus Sigurdsson,
Thank you.
who has a Swedish wife and tattoos, and is a husband,
Mhm.
and he's Norse. Those are the notes.
And
I
the
mean-
one that brought Amaryllis back.
Oh, he
hey.
is? Shit, okay. Then I guess I'll go
best
with
mentee ever.
Amaryllis.
Hey, Kev, best mentee ever.
Okay, he didn't tell us who brought you back. Just that you came back.
You never asked. I
That's
was waiting
being
for a
He
polite.
didn't come up until now.
I was waiting for a dramatically appropriate time.
Yeah, I guess that
That was a
makes sense.
dramatically appropriate time.
Dramatic hamster. Alright, so Amaryllis and
Holly.
Kevin Harris.
Holly. Sorry, I'm like you have a lot of characters that have very witchy names in our RPGs. You got Destiny and Sapphire or something like that, and Holly and
Amethyst.
Amethyst. Yeah,
Sounds
that's
like
why that's what's
Elizabeth.
confusing me. You have Amethyst and Amaryllis, and then okay, that's why I keep getting all messed up in my head.
Those sound more like strippers than witches.
Okay, fuck you.
The
Why
Venn
not both?
diagram of strippers and witches is very overlapping.
It's almost a circle.
So Holly and Amaryllis drive to
Okay, hang on. I feel really offended now because it just occurred to me a fuckload of my character names sound like stripper names. I'm gonna have to do a poll. Be like, okay, which of these sound
no,
like
you already
stripper
did
names?
the poll. You already have the stripper names.
I mean, I'd apologize, but it is the okay.
Sometimes the truth hurts.
No, that was to Vex. Because
I
you already did the poll thing.
Yep, so,
love that it took you that long to respond to it, though.
So two of you pull up to his house. Nice
Okay.
house in the county. Picket fences. You walk up. Door open, or you don't even need to go inside. You see Magnus outside doing yard work in the garden. It's like, ah, welcome.
Hi, Magnus.
Oh, please, you can just call me Maggie.
Hey, Maggie.
Yes, how can I help you? No, no one has died again, have they?
No.
No, no, no.
Oh, that is
Not
good.
yet. Give it some time.
Oh, it's hard to bring back the dead. But how can I do you? Would you like some tea?
I'd love that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
come inside.
sounds awesome.
Goes in, starts pouring some tea. He's like, we also have milk and juice, apple, orange, pomegranate.
He works for me.
Tea sounds amazing.
I got regular real tea and I got the fake teas.
Let's do regular real tea.
Black, green, oolong.
Oolong sounds good.
Black.
He goes, just brings you a tray with the two different teas, thing of sugar, milk, little sandwiches. It's like, so what can I do for this visit? Or is it just a friendly one?
Unfortunately, it's more business one.
It's almost always business.
Unfortunately, yes. We're investigating a person who's been breaking in and stealing things, and we were curious, and if you'd heard anything from other mages of some of their stuff going missing.
Hmm.
Might have been done with one of them being put to sleep.
Mages per se, no, but I did hear through the grapevine. Interesting phrase, grapevine.
Get off of him. Sorry, I just looked down and the baby was in the dog's bed.
You have your own bed at home.
I'm waiting for Terry to get fed up and just sit on Leilani.
No, more likely he growls at her, and I don't want to take a chance that he snaps just because he doesn't know what else to do.
Valid.
But
Okay, yeah, we're good.
so, like I said, I have not heard or am aware of any mages or sorcerers blessing things, but I did hear through the grapevine that a antiques dealer that that some people in the community talk to for various antiques did get robbed not too long ago. Not quite sure what was stolen, but it was a significant amount of things, like a couple important things.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was a pawn shop?
No,
Antique.
antique dealer.
Antique shop. What's the antique shop?
Well, it's a place that people sell
No,
old
no, no,
things.
no. Like where? Like what's the name of it? Where it's located?
Oh, it was like something like what was old is new antique shop or something like that. It was very cliche kind of name. Yeah. He's like, hold on. Goes, gets a sticky note. This is the address. I've gone there a couple times. They have some nifty things.
Nifty.
It does have nifty things. I found a when I went there a antique tea set. I can't use it, but it was nifty, and it's over there in my China hut.
Is it radioactive?
Yes. So in Victorian time, it glows in the dark. I know, baby. Yeah. Don't
Back
really want
then,
to
you would have been making these.
I I'm not that skilled.
No, I mean the baby.
Ah, yes, babies would, yes. They crave the mines.
They crave the mines, yes. All right, well, that's a good starting point then.
Yes. So I've heard other things since the incident.
Mhm.
I mean, I know it's chaotic for you, you know,
Oh,
bringing your Amaryllis here, that she was dead. There's been reports that certain a a few individuals have been dealing with those stolen items from the house and have been distributing them to very minor sorcerers in order to cause issues.
Mhm.
I knew it.
We're tracking one of them right now.
Oh, nice. Note, I personally don't blame you for what happened. Things were set up against you in many ways.
Well, good to know you're on our side at least.
I'm not altogether on anyone's side, but I always take the best of people into account. I never assume maliciousness out of anyone, and that's proven otherwise.
That's a good way to operate.
Yes. If someone makes a mistake, I assume it's just a mistake someone makes, not because they're wrong.
It would
Can
go ahead.
Sorry, I
You're good.
can't remember the philosopher's name, but he said, never assume malice when stupidity would suffice as an answer.
Words to
Honest-
live by.
It would be an impressive feat for me to manage to maliciously get myself killed by a surprise attack.
I would at one point would say would be also surprised about that, but I have seen things called TikToks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 Now I really want to know what Magnus's thread or homepage looks like.
Arts and crafts and dogs.
I was
Makes
just
sense.
imagining 1,000 iterations of the Taylor Swift screaming goat. I don't know why, but that's just what popped into my head.
I feel like that's just Kev.
No, my TikTok's weird because
It's
it's just
so fucking weird.
it takes me on weird journeys.
Yeah. Like for a while there, he fell down a rabbit hole of Jewish TikTok.
Still on that Orthodox Jewish TikTok, by the way.
Yeah. Recently there was babies farting TikTok.
The Would You Rather.
Oh
TikTok?
yeah, that's a fun one. I like that one.
So-
Yeah.
It took a while. But yeah, sometimes I get along weird ones. Oh, lesbian
Yeah.
TikTok was weird going down for a few until I managed to get back out of that area. Just wasn't for me.
Understandable.
It's like, wow, that's a lot. Um,
Anyway,
so
Thank you for the
Hopefully-
tea.
oh, you're welcome.
yeah, thank you. And for the information. It's
what
very
I could-
helpful.
The tea and the tea.
Yes,
Nice.
yes, a half and
That's
half.
doubly funny because I'm drinking half and half right now.
Also called Arnold Palmer for other areas.
I know that one well.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is not alcohol. Don't worry.
I know it's just fine. It's like I know Arnold Palmer. It's like what?
It has lemonade. I didn't hear when I mentioned lemonade.
Yep, that's why it's half and half, half tea, half lemonade.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Half and half, one of my favorite drinks. Yeah,
So-
we should try and get this guy. Thank you for your hospitality.
Yeah, you're welcome. Though I have given you lots of information and I have helped you many times, I could use a hand for something.
Of course.
I need help weeding the garden. It takes a while.
Gladly.
All right.
It's like, and you go and help him with the garden a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Holly is absolutely down for this.
Yes, it's very relaxing to me. And then like doing something with your own hands without technology sometimes just allows you to recommune with nature. There's just a certain earthy pleasure to it. And then sometimes you're like, fuck these weeds, and you just use weed killer.
I thought for a second he was going to say a flamethrower.
Those are illegal in Maryland.
Oh, that's really funny.
Come on, Maryland. What the fuck?
Let us
Only
have
state.
flamethrowers.
Only fucking state where they're illegal.
This is my
I
medicinal.
feel like that's that's got to be for a reason. That has to be for a reason.
Baltimore.
Emotional support from
I
Florida.
was gonna say
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
bumfuck nowhere county.
Oh, you know, there's some guy riding a horse down Baltimore and with a flamethrower at some point.
So I hear you, but I also hear some redneck motherfucker chasing possums with a flamethrower.
That sounds like so much fun.
Either
That's
way,
what I would like to believe.
2 states where flamethrowers are not 100% legal. Us in California, and the difference is California you just need a permit, but they're totally illegal in Maryland apparently.
I'm sorry, hang on. Wildfire Central, you need a permit, and they're totally illegal here.
Makes sense.
I don't know.
I feel like they should not be allowed at all in California.
Ah,
Then again, it seems like it's mostly gender reveal parties that set fires in California than flamethrowers.
An Oppenheimer.
So I will help weed
Yeah.
the garden.
Meanwhile, you.
You address me.
Yes.
Q knows a lot of mages. They come in for work sometimes to get little things. Anytime they need like a mechanical aspect to like an experiment or ritual or something, they often come to Q for either maintenance or design or crafting. So he has a lot of contacts and that sort of thing, and so some of the more handheld physical type of mages. So at this point, I think he would try to just send out texts to people that he knows, seeing if they've heard anything about people getting robbed of anything, because he's been hearing about it and he wanted to like double check that they didn't lose anything and that they don't need anything either. You know, like I heard people have been getting, some mages have been getting robbed. I was hoping you didn't. If you did, do you need to be resupplied or does anything need to be fixed over there? You know, that sort of thing. Trying to seem like he's concerned about these other mages and like what they might have lost or had disturbed in their own homes, if they did in fact get robbed. You know, he's basically just like sending out information to different people he knows.
Most of them, the few of you that get back with you are like, no, but one of them does call you. A person you know, maybe.
Sure, I'll take a call. It's a little unusual this day and age, but
Hey,
Hello.
you were talking about things being stolen?
yeah, there's rumors going around that some mages have been robbed.
I haven't really heard much about mages being robbed per se, but
Mages doing the robbing, perhaps.
not quite. I did hear some rumors about something else. Don't know if it related, but I do know that you had that issue a while back. I heard through the grapevine. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's hard to pick who you work with sometimes, and then teamwork is a challenge.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But I did hear some rumors about an individual who has come across a item that they might not really be in possession of, so to speak. A friend of my kid at school apparently came across some item that he says is like this powerful magical blah 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 that allows him to do some things. I haven't really tested it. That's not my cup of tea, so to speak, with my sphere of things. But I
Mhm.
can send you the address and you could investigate.
Yeah, that could help. You never know what's connected to what other things.
Because if this kid does have one of these items, and these items are being used for other things, maybe it can connect it to the main supplier, so to speak, I guess, which can connect you to other things.
Yeah, go ahead and send me the information. Do you know what it was? What the item in question is, or
Ah,
I can just look. I could just go there and see what I find.
he said it was a face mask?
A face mask.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's strange.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely interested.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Send it to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Now I get it.
Oh, I thought you were making it funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I was waiting for Q to go. I don't make funnies. I make tools.
A happy accident, let's say that.
Mm.
So interesting. I'll take down the address he sends and see if that lines up with anything. Also, do we know if we're missing, was a face mask stolen from the vault? Is that one of the
Oh.
items?
So you looking at items, and there are two items that have those terms involved.
Mm-hmm.
One is a mask for the face, and the other one is a face that's a mask. It's one of
You know,
two items.
I was wondering if it was going to do which one of those it would go.
Yeah, apparently there were two created of this one item. One was lost in the land of the Fae, but the other one was in the vault. And then the other item is one of a kind and was also in the vault.
All right. Does it say what they do?
So, the face mask, if you soak it or put blood on it of an individual and put it on, you basically become visually, or just you appear as that individual. Height, weight, blah blah blah. That's the one.
Sure.
But there are two of them, both
Mhm.
created by the same person. One of the two was lost.
Classic item, yep.
And the other one was a mask that it's you put on the face, whatever, and the person looking at you basically sees the individual that they are most attracted to and kind of falls for that person, kind of becomes attracted to them, becomes obsessed kind of thing. Basically, it's like a love mask, so to speak.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I
Both
wouldn't
wonderful
want,
items for a teenager to possess.
yeah, I wouldn't want anyone to have either of those things. All right then. I would send the group text to the group saying I got a lead on one of the missing items, a third one.
Right.
It seems.
And to do that, we'll take a quick break as I'm going to see if Chain needs help. And we're back.
Ah.
All right. So, Holly and Amaryllis, you get the text from Q saying you might know where another artifact is and the stuff he sent you.
And then Amaryllis will kind of send back of the information we picked up too.
Getting steps and steps closer to something.
Let's put a pin in the one you found out about. We'll have that for later, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I think that the thief is certainly the one that seems to be doing more right now.
Mm-hmm. Also,
And
chasing after multiple could be and just end up with us with nothing.
Yep, two in the bush, like they say. Plus, we have that guy's grimoire, so we can't sit on that for too long. They're gonna come. They're gonna be wanting.
Mhm.
They're gonna be doing something about that, coming for it in some way, either through us or going back at the
How
person
will he
who's
know?
supposed. Exactly. Well, we don't know. Maybe he'll have a way to check the tapes of the post office, or he'll contact the people who sent it, and they'll say we sent it already. And then he'll start looking for why he didn't get it.
Okay, sorry, I was distracted. Weeding Magnus's lawn. What is next step?
We're gonna go after the guy who's been with the hand.
Okay, so are we scoping out the bus?
I mean, I feel like we should scope out the thing we just got from the thing we just got from Magnus.
Oh, the
Stolen
oh
artifact.
yeah, ask if the pawn shop
Not the pawn
covers
shop, the
anything.
antique dealer.
Antique dealer. Shit. Okay, yeah.
Look, one sells cheap things, the other sells really expensive things. There's a big difference.
I know.
I just love the idea of you just constantly like, it's a pawn shop. It's not a pawn shop. It's a pawn shop. It's a rich person pawn shop.
Rich person pawn shop.
Oh, damn it.
What?
There are these different flavored Kit Kats still.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I I just grabbed one randomly. I thought I got rid of all the ones I didn't like, but apparently I got confused when I was giving the ones I didn't like to my dad, and kept one of the sake flavors, or kept both
Aw.
sake. Thought I gave him the sake ones. Apparently I gave him the regular chocolate ones, I guess.
No! Throw me one of those lemon ones if you find one.
I was waiting to see it just beam Cat in the head.
Well, he was aiming to make sure he had beamed me and not the baby.
I think I'm just going to put this into the bag. Yeah, so there are two flavors I really didn't like in this. One was the sake, because I'm
Mhm.
not a big alcohol person, and the other was the wasabi.
Understandable. I feel like that one's more of a gimmick anyways, so
My dad loves horseradish and was the wasabi. I got him chips the one time.
mhm.
He ate those suckers right up.
I would love to try a wasabi Kit Kat. I should order them at some point. They sound amazing.
So, you are going to go to the antique shop.
Yeah, we're going to the pawn shop.
Who all is going?
We'll just set a meetup. Like we're heading here.
Okay,
Anyone
so
wants to
everybody-
come? Anyone who wants to come, we're here.
I'll go.
They meet up at the antique shop. You go. The sign says, "Blast from the past. What was once old is now new."
This might actually be a pawn shop, guys.
I like this place already.
Go in.
Waste
You
not,
go.
want not.
Just go and you hear the little thing go ding 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 ding.
Is it like the fake bell or a real bell?
Real bell.
All right, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's an antique one. You go. The place is cluttered. Shelves and upon shelves, just items everywhere. You see behind a counter, you can barely see a person sitting behind it because there's just stacks of books and stuff around him. And he's just he looks over. He's like, "Hi." As you see an older gentleman, he's got just like really short gray hair on the top. He's got little narrow glasses,
Mhm.
small ones. He's got a mustache. He's wearing lots of bright colored outfit and stuff. Like it's like pink pants and then like a green top and stuff. He's just like, "Hi,
You have an interloper.
baby. How can I help you?"
Kev, quick question. Did Magnus give us a name for the person we're looking for here, or
Yep.
just tell us the place? All right.
Showed you the place. That and I was just trying to grab my heater. No,
Uh-oh.
heater
Yeah.
bad.
It's hot on the bottom.
I had to turn it off, thankfully.
In the top.
Yeah, you're such a little cutie. Yeah, they want to
Aw.
see you. There you go.
Oh,
5
hi,
minutes of
Lottie.
Hold it. She's like, no.
Yeah, we
I
got
do
this.
not wish to hold it.
We got this nifty thing for baby food pouches.
Yeah.
So it prevents her from squeezing them, so she doesn't squeeze it and.
End up wearing it.
Yeah, but yeah. So the person's just like, yeah, welcome to our shop. How can I help you?
So I'm trying to think on how to play this brain-wise.
He was
Sorry.
just looking around like a customer would at old things.
We got stuff from many eras. Some expensive, some cheaper. Everything from the 1890s to the 1990s.
Hmm.
We got a special on Beanie Babies. Buy one, get 20 free.
You have a problem with not being able to get rid of them?
So many people bought them as a investment.
And then they sounded like that after they didn't pay off?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like Beanie Babies were like the 1990s version of crypto and NFTs.
No, because they're tangible and have value at the
You
time.
at least got something from them.
They look nice.
Oh yeah, they do.
Some of the people interested were not terrible. I assume.
Some probably were, but
But yeah, so we do got a bunch of those. Someone basically dropped off their collection. But yeah, so things. We do consignment. So if you do have items, we do not pawn. We're not a pawn shop.
looks to Holly.
It's a good distinction to make. Some people have trouble with that.
It is
Yes.
a hard issue for some people.
Yeah, so you're not gonna find hundreds of wedding bands here. You're not gonna find guitars. You're not gonna find like old VCRs and stuff. Though I am starting to take CRT TVs now because there is a nice profit margin in those with retro gamers.
Yeah, they say the retro gamers will pay top dollar for those.
Yeah. But yeah, so you can look around. We have stuff. There is stuff behind cages and locked areas that are very high valued items. Just ask me and I will show them to you.
All right. Amaryllis will kind of look around for a little and then kind of go up to him, and just kind of she's gonna be direct with it. We were suggested to this place by a Magnus.
Okay.
And we were curious because we heard she got to pause. We heard about your issue that happened a bit ago.
Yeah. Had some items stolen.
Mhm.
It was unfortunate.
Have you gotten any of those back, or?
So far nothing. That's really annoying because they were pretty rare, high valued items in my opinion. Well, rare at least.
What kind of items, if you don't mind us asking? She'll kind of like lean in a bit, like we're doing a bit of an investigation on this.
Are you?
Yes.
Well, the items were let's see. There were a couple books. There were cufflinks, a tie, a wristwatch, like a older one.
Mhm.
Oh, I there was the an old sword that was taken. That one was annoying because it's very hard to get those kind nowadays. Let's see. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head here.
Take your time. It's all good. I'm sure you weren't expecting someone to come in and ask you this.
A baby doll.
It sounds like you got that one back.
Oh no, that's
That's just
Sir
the baby.
interrupts a lot. Yeah. Oh, a chandelier. Oh, a skull.
That's an impressive amount.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it was smaller, but yeah, so that's a lot of this kind of taken. Story reported it.
Mhm.
Had several clients who were interested in a few of those items, which is really annoying. So
That's very unfortunate. We're sorry that this happened to you.
I have a question. While he was walking around, can he smell any of that brimstone stuff? Or the weird smell from the other house? He's
roll
gonna sniff around a little bit.
wits and awareness, I think.
All right.
Can you smell what the rock was cooking?
Wits.
23 flavors of these little Kit Kats. I keep pulling the same 3. Turn the bag around.
Rip.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep pulling the same ones.
You just
Better.
cursed, Kev.
Finally got one that's different.
One success.
One success. You do smell a couple areas in the store that have a bit of brimstone. One area is near a bunch of older items that you think might just carry that smell, but there is an area near the back wall that has a slight hint of brimstone.
Interesting. While they're up front talking, I'm gonna look around there and see if I notice any traces of someone walking through it, I guess.
We could also check the back alley.
Yeah, we'll have to go there next.
You do discover some of that residue on the ground.
Interesting. That confirms some things then, at least. At least that the same thief was here. Do we have any more questions for this entrepreneur?
I can't think of any at the moment, but so.
I mean, a lot of the times when something is stolen that was meant that somebody wanted to buy, sometimes the buyer decided to steal it instead of paying for it.
Do you have, if you don't mind, of course, with Q-Tit, do you have a list of the buyers? If that's not a disclosure issue for you.
Some of the names are a disclosure issue because they like to be kept secret.
Understand.
Those ones I am.
Ah.
Do you want to mute yourself,
Thunder.
Katrina?
Huh?
You want to mute yourself? Thank you. Her head was rubbing up against your mic that entire time. Sound like
Sorry.
The
Sound like
baby's
yours
debut album.
raining. Of course.
I
we
would say the buyers who are I guess you could say under that the disclosure ones that are keep secret and stuff. I'm confident none of them stole anything. Maybe
would make
because all but one of them aren't even in the country.
And also, I feel like if you're wanting to keep them they want to keep anonymous, they're probably consistent buyers from you.
There was 2 on the list of potential buyers that aren't my regulars. I did give those names to the police in their police report. They said that they were going to investigate them.
All right.
But yeah, I did have some people asking about some items. They weren't potential buyers, but they were asking about it. Because most of my potential buyers, I do ask for a deposit. so I can hold it off, until they decide. Because these are some pretty high-end items.
Hmm.
I got some silver made by the Paul Revere family. Mhm. Mhm.
Silver
And
made by him.
the family were silversmiths.
Right, that's right.
Technically, I think it was his dad, but
Johnny Tremaine.
What?
It's unrelated, probably. I don't know a lot about that area of history, but there was that guy who got like his hand put in the liquid metal. Johnny Tremaine. I didn't know if that was silver or if that was related to Paul Revere.
I don't think they are.
I don't know.
So someone stole a chandelier? That's
Mhm.
pretty substantial.
Yeah, that was a surprising one. I mean, it wasn't the biggest chandelier, but who steals one of those?
As
Was
players,
that one of the items that you had a buyer lined up for?
Surprisingly, no. Chandeliers aren't really high end on people buying them from our shops.
Makes sense.
They normally have them custom built for their places. There's one from 1815, I think. Made out of interesting metal alloy. Very rare.
What kind of alloy?
It was a mixture of, I believe, according to the analysis person did, was a mixture of iron with some silver, and at the time, this would have been a big deal, aluminium.
oh, that was very expensive back then.
Yes.
Probably helped the person carry it out. It'd be lighter.
It was relatively light for its size. Held 12 candles.
Yeah, about how big was it?
About yeah, big. That guy's amazing.
That certainly helps.
But yeah, that's one of the items. Like I said, there was the sword. It was a saber from Tsarist Russia. Very hard to get because of their policies nowadays of Xing with artifacts. That one had a buyer. It's hard to get that.
Mm-hmm. Very rare, very hard to get.
I assume this was already asked, but cameras on the outside of your shop?
Oh, I
has
can't
one yet.
afford those.
We could look around more outside.
Do you think any of the other businesses in the area have any?
Do other businesses in the area? I guess there are. Huh. I don't go out much. My actual house is on top of the store.
Makes sense.
You mean you live here and you don't know your neighbors?
Do
That's
you know all
normal
your
for people.
neighbors?
No, it's normal not to know your neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah, we do know our neighbors.
Oh,
Bully for you.
not everybody, gets involved with their neighbor stuff. What
It's
if
tried to
smart
say-
to do
I
sometimes.
tried to meet one once. They didn't seem interested.
what if you have like a Karen next door?
Yeah, you don't want to know that. They'll let you know. You don't have to find that out your own.
Yeah. But
they like to be known.
But
Well, here's my card. It's not a detective's card, but you can reach me on it if you find out if you get like any of these specific items back, or if you find out who has them or something like that.
Okay.
We think it's connected to other robberies that we're also investigating.
50.
And we'll let you know what's going on too.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, be sure to look
Cut.
around if you ever
Yeah,
need a old artifact.
We will.
Mhm.
Ooh, do you need any of you interested in Victorian radioactive
T-sets?
wallpaper?
Do you say toilet paper?
Wallpaper.
Wallpaper.
Well, okay. What kind of radiation?
They used, I think, radium paint or radium.
Oh, no thanks.
Yeah,
That's
for the stuff.
pretty good.
It's
For the
a
paint, yeah.
it's a lovely green color.
I remember the radium girls. I don't want to touch any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to get rid of that.
You can't burn it, that's for sure. Not safely.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially since it's made partially out of asbestos.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
Asbestos
all
and
very
radiation.
interesting.
The Victorians knew how to make things.
If they were so smart, how come they're dead? That's a fun joke about history.
It's because we're mortals living in a flicker of a flame of the history of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then the flame itself will blow out one day and all human life will be gone.
Yeah, some not soon enough.
Everything we have accomplished will be for nothing.
Yeah, we
The
can only send
darkness.
so many people down in subs at a time.
The darkness of space.
Well, this episode just got dated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
It's
I was
June
teasing.
23rd.
2019. From the past, predicting the future.
I can't wait for my big vacation next year.
No, Kev, we are not an episode of The Simpsons. We're Family Guy at best.
Oh, I was hoping for Futurama.
I almost made a Simpsons reference earlier, so it's not that far off.
But yeah, so that's what you find out.
Thank you for your help. We'll let you know if we
Yeah,
hear
thank you.
anything, and you can do so as well.
Mhm.
Sounds good. Have fun.
If you need anything like fixed or repaired or any mechanical work, that card's also good for that.
Well, apparently everyone says I need to install cameras on the outside. Can you do that for cheap?
No,
All right.
if you bring me cameras, I could improve them or fix them, but I'm not a wholesaler or an installer. I know people.
Okay, just wondering.
I can get you in touch with the right people if you want. We'll talk later. I'll go outside.
Yeah, we'll head out too.
All right.
Once we're outside, I'll tell the group that I found somewhere that weird smell and the residue in the back of the wall, and that we can check the alley behind, and then maybe check nearby buildings if there's any cameras pointing at the alley.
All right.
So a thing that occurred to me. This guy had to have a getaway car. Because we know he doesn't drive. And all of the shit that he took was really big. He would have been noticed walking down the street with a chandelier and a goddamn saber.
Mm-hmm. Well, the saber could fit in the duffel that he had from the other one, but the chandelier is you can't really hide that.
Oh.
Unless he had a magic bag.
Sage had to drop. He wasn't feeling
Yeah,
well.
I just noticed that.
I don't think that this person has a magic bag that holds more than it seems to.
I feel like if he did, he would take more shit, right?
Maybe. But if he was
Like-
here just to steal specific things, I mean, a bag probably has limits.
I guess. Okay, so like, my thought would be, if he has like a bag of holding, he's just
Mhm.
gonna take everything that is nailed down. But he does seem to be targeting, at least in the new homes, he does seem to be targeting specific stuff that is going to be easy to resell with very few questions,
Mhm.
like game systems, jewelry, that sort of like unidentifiable jewelry, that sort of thing. So it could be that he does have some method of carrying a lot of stuff. It's just the stuff that he's taking. He's making sure to take stuff that's going to be easy to get rid of.
Someone who was a thief before they got to hand and knows how to do it.
Or is just smart.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it doesn't take a lot of common sense to understand that the monogrammed cufflinks are going to be monogrammed. Cufflinks are going to be hard as shit to sell.
I mean, unless the monogram is like a common letter.
Even then, somebody reports that shit missing.
Yeah, yeah.
Super fucking easy. If it's just generic diamond earrings 27, they all look the fucking same.
Yep, yep, yep.
And who keeps the paperwork that lists the serial number of the diamond in your earrings? Fucking nobody.
Those aren't going to be giving us much then. So
Yeah,
are there
so-
other local other shops or anything with cameras pointing towards the alley?
Don't really see much in the way of cameras pointing to the alley.
Mm-hmm. Or the entrances to the alley, I guess. But there's
Yeah,
probably a
let's go
bunch.
to the alley and actually make sure that that is where he came in. And the other thing is, what's on the other side of this alley, Kevin?
Would you like some GM or storyteller inspiration for something?
Sure,
Yeah, I
but I
don't
was
know
gonna
what the-
ask if what's on the other side of this alley is another building. Maybe he went through another building to get to this one.
Would you like a little
Yes.
storyteller hint? You've established this guy may or may not be the super genius, right? Because the stuff he stole and everything. Why don't you just ask the bus drivers if anyone actually saw a guy walk on a bus with a chandelier?
I was about to ask
That was going to
that.
be the next step. We got to take steps one at a time.
How would
There's probably a lot of bus stops.
You know,
I don't know.
he
I don't know. I don't know bus systems, so I can claim I don't have to be ignorant to get that wrong.
you know he takes the one kind of bus.
Yeah, as a
And he would be standing out wearing an individual who constantly wears a gas mask, smelling like sulfur, and at one point carrying a chandelier.
Is that
Yeah, it is
unusual for the bus system in Baltimore?
Yeah,
At least one of those are.
the gas
I
mask
think-
is pretty common.
I think all of them are. No,
Individually.
the gas mask definitely isn't. Fucking even during the pandemic, most people didn't wear a goddamn mask.
Great.
I mean,
I
yeah,
love
as
that
I say,
about us.
like
I
even
just-
if we don't get the direct bus driver, like they're gonna talk about that.
Oh yeah, they
Hey,
talk.
yo, this fucking weird dude the other day.
Fun
Should
fact,
we get our
did
own
not know
chandelier?
this, but the way the bus drivers, at least in Baltimore City, actually switch like shifts, they just stop in the middle of their fucking route.
Yep.
Somebody drops them off. Driver A gets off, driver B gets on. They sometimes stop on the stairwell and talk for a couple of minutes,
Mhm.
and then they go about their day. And if you interrupt them while they're having their small talk, they will ignore the fuck out of you and start their conversation over and hold
Good.
up traffic for everybody just to be dicks.
Yep.
But they also generally have the same drivers for routes for weeks on end because they know the routes well. Like I knew a couple drivers who they saw me like trying to get to the bus and I was a bit running behind and they would wait because they knew me.
And then you get the assholes who speed up when they see you coming.
They also are the ones who used to know me a lot.
I was about to say they also know Kev well, and that's why they go faster.
But I'm just saying, like
yeah.
you're doing all this like minor stuff where you already established the MO. So
I
Check-
keep saying let's just go to the bus.
yeah, I'm just
You've
saying. if
never
you-
once said we should go.
You
to the
you
bus.
said let's check out the alleyway.
Yeah.
You
You said
literally
let's-
said
no.
that.
I've
You
said the
said
bus
let's
several
ride
times
the. You said let's
before.
ride the bus and see if we see him. You never mentioned asking the bus driver.
I was just
which I'm-
scoping out the bus. I figured
Yeah,
that
we
was
gotta
I
like
talk to the
I
driver.
thought that meant like sitting near bus stops and like seeing if anybody gets on or off.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't.
I'm just
There's no public transportation in my city because it's stupid. So I don't know.
I'm just bringing this
I
up
have an
because
excuse. It's a good thing that you're pointing because we're going to be dithering all night.
yeah, because if every time you go to a new place, like let's check out the alley, let's check out the alley. Every time you're going to be like,
It's
oh,
the same thing.
we found sulfur at the entrance point.
We've
We've
already
found
got that
sulfur
clue.
at the entrance point.
We don't need that clue again. Yeah.
and not a lot of places in the city are going to have cameras everywhere because people don't like you having cameras on them all the time.
Unless it's a ring door cam for some goddamn
I've never
reason.
been to Baltimore, so I don't know
Yeah.
about your camera situation.
Yeah, people.
Even then, honestly, 80% of the cameras in Baltimore are there for show.
I know
They
a lot of the
haven't
cameras
worked
that
in years.
they put in Baltimore, Walmart, the big black domes they put on the ceiling are like don't even have cameras in them most of the time.
Yep.
It's just
Uh,
deterrence.
Yep, some are deterrents, and then they also have ones that do and some that don't, so you never know.
Yeah, and they're not even plugged in; they're just little lights.
Yeah.
It's
like,
okay. It should be okay to steal from Walmart.
It's like padlocks, master locks and stuff.
Mhm.
A lot of that stuff is super easy to pick.
Yep.
But it's to deter it because it takes you time or effort, and most criminals and thieves aren't going to take the time and effort. They want a quick grab and go.
Mm-hmm.
But like if somebody's determined to steal your shit, they're going to break right through it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the concept of a safe. A safe is only as good as the person who's determined not to pick it up and walk off with it.
I'm not
Leilani,
determined for
stop
shit.
feeding
I
him
barely bend over for
her
a nickel.
Cheetos.
What?
Depends on how safe it is.
She keeps trying to feed the dog her Cheeto.
Oh, okay. So-
That's polite. So,
So you
bus
wait for,
drivers.
wait
Should we
for
get
the
our
bus
own
She's on a
chandelier?
diet.
Yeah, who
Huh?
is it? I mean, should we get our own chandelier and see if the bus driver's like another guy with a chandelier, and then we'll know. Oh, you've seen it before. That's my, and then we can ask him about it.
Or you just
That's-
ask him about it.
Yeah, I mean, you could do the direct route.
So I would say you wait for a little bit late in the evening, so you make sure it's probably the same drivers. And I guess wait. Bus
Yeah.
pulls up. Person just opens the door.
Get on.
Hop on, pay, take a
Yeah.
seat behind them.
It's like, see a couple people. You see someone doing the Baltimore lean.
Leave his ears alone, then, Ronnie.
Like
That's
just falling asleep.
sleeping standing up on a pole.
It's where certain people they will be sitting there and they'll just keep leaning forward and forward to where they're almost like hitting the ground and then just like ugh, and get
Yeah,
back
they're
up
not
slightly.
asleep. They're high out of their mind.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow they don't spill their drinks.
That's impressive.
Just
Compartmentalizing their brain.
You're like, they're gonna spill, they're like, oh nope.
It's
Just
important
like-
to make sure.
Undercover Brother in the beginning where he has that drink and he does his car spinning around.
I remember that movie. Don't
Exactly.
call me a sissy.
Neil Patrick Harrison, one of his best roles.
Yeah. So on the bus, the wheels on the bus are going round and round.
Mm-hmm. Anybody with a gas mask in the bus?
Don't see anyone at this moment.
That would have been real nice.
Amaryllis will kind of lean over and kind of ask the start of the visit, how's your day been so far?
Bus driver's just like points up to a sign.
What does it say?
Don't talk to the bus driver while the bus is in motion.
See, mine does. None of ours say that. The amount of times I've had a full conversation with a bus driver at like midnight is absurd.
Oh, midnight.
I
it's
feel like
different.
that's definitely like a sign they typed up themselves. Like that does not have the official branding on there. That's just one employee that put it in there, and their boss just hasn't made them take it down yet.
That makes sense.
They deserve not to be disturbed by all the weirdos.
Fair enough.
So how do we get them to talk to us?
Wait till they stop.
Should we have a loud conversation they could hear that would entice them to pop in with something?
I guarantee you, bus drivers do not give a shit. Like
Oh,
they will
bus-
listen to your tea, but they do not react because
Well,
they have heard it all.
What kind of tea you're talking? Let's see.
I sure would love to pay
Yes.
someone $100 if they saw a chandelier in a bus for a scavenger hunt.
A couple of people on the bus are just like, they're like,
Nobody's ever done a scavenger hunt for a wedding.
Starts a
what sure would be-
conversation like that.
Well, I'm in the middle of a conversation. Two of my friends are getting married.
Alani.
This is one of the scavenger hunt items. The only bus-related item.
I don't think you're gonna. Older black lady's like, honey, I don't think you're going to find a chandelier often just sitting around.
Well, if someone's carrying it, people carry those things.
No, not really.
Small
Normally
ones.
Is it even a chandelier if it's a small one? Wouldn't it be like a candelabra or something?
No, a
Defines a
candelabra is something
chandelier.
that sits up. A chandelier is hanging down.
It's like a stalagmite and a stalactite.
A dangling candelabra could be a chandelier, but I think it needs accoutrement.
Leave him alone.
Like, yeah, I don't think you're going to see many people with a chandelier just sitting on a bus. It's unusual.
Oh yeah, because chandelier people, they don't take the bus.
No, they're kind of big and bulky.
Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to get every item on the list.
Alani.
Grab her.
Is she on the list?
Grab her.
Busy bus.
Yeah, so, but yeah, it's unusual. Like, oh, like a couple of weeks ago, there was this weird guy who put one on the bus, on the bike rack.
Oh, I wouldn't think that'd be safe. But I mean, there's nowhere else to put it, is there?
No, the bus driver wouldn't let him on with it. He couldn't get through the door practically. He's like, really weird.
Was he coming from like a mansion or something?
No, you're just at a stop.
Must have been going to a mansion. I mean, that's where
Us?
chandeliers live. I don't know. I mean, where do you think they were going if not a mansion?
I don't know, honey.
I mean, anybody can have a chandelier.
I'm trying to get information.
I mean, how am I supposed to know? I don't know what a chandelier like. We got lights. We got those booby lights at my house.
The type of bird?
No, it's
No.
a house. It's a light that you put on the ceiling that looks like a boob.
It looks. I
They're
said.
the worst.
I literally have one of the booby lights in my room, and
I hate them.
It looks
Yeah,
like a
they're-
big glowing spot on the camera.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a
here.
dome. In order to take it, you have to basically twist,
Twist
the
the
nipple,
nipple.
and
Okay.
then it comes down, and then you.
Yeah, here I have a picture of it right now. For
Well, that's
for,
fun, I guess.
Oh, they call it
This
boob light.
maybe I
There.
should find a chandelier guy to get my my scavenger hunt.
You could go to Home Depot. I think they have them.
They're booby lights.
Oh yeah,
Light.
never heard him called that. I've never heard him called that. Seems so
Yeah.
obvious now.
Oklahoma's weird.
Oklahoma hates boobs.
That's where
Confirmed.
the wind blows over the plains.
I'll take
That-
your word on that.
It's a musical.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, Oklahoma. You got steak and one city.
That's you're using the wrong state, and I can tell it's on purpose. There's not much going on out here in the Midwest, but it's important not to be Oklahoma. I won't correct much.
So,
Not even
but
Kansas.
yeah, the guy. Yeah.
But do you
Was
see
Was
what
he
he
like? Yeah, was
what
he like coming from Home Depot or something? Or
I don't know. I just saw a person put thing on, come onto the bus, take off a mask, and just sit there. Bus driver was giving him a weird look and everything. I mean,
Maybe he was in the
deserved.
wedding. Do you know what he looked like? Because there's the people at the wedding. A lot of them are beautiful and pale.
what?
I get it. I get the reference.
What is with you at the weddings?
This is what the scavenger hunt is for. There's a scavenger hunt for an upcoming wedding in Baltimore, and one of the items is a chandelier. And so, if there was another person you saw with a chandelier, I thought maybe it's somebody else getting the scoop on winning the scavenger hunt. So
I'm confused. If you need to find a chandelier, why don't you just go to Home Depot? They're right there.
It's not always about winning. It's
well,
about
it's
making the right
also
people lose.
it's specifically you have to find a chandelier on the bus. So
makes
they
a
cheated the
scavenger hunt?
They cheated the system
They're just weird rich
and
people. Who
brought
knows?
their own chandelier on the bus.
What? Who made this scavenger hunt? That's stupid.
What did this guy
The
look
bride
like? Was
is
he
really
about?
weird.
What did this guy look like? Was he about 6'3" with a huge mustache?
I don't.
Shorter?
You're shorter.
Uh-huh. Closer to 5'9", maybe?
I'm not really good with heights.
Like, was he as tall as me?
You were
But
slouching.
Less handsome, I bet.
I don't know. He had pecan tan skin, short hair.
Mm-hmm.
He stayed to himself, listened to some music on some headphones, smelled a bit.
That could be Greg or Terry. It was a coincidence I said Terry. I was trying to think of regular names. I'm not referencing your dog.
He's got a
No,
regular.
it's still accurate.
Yeah, that's a dog.
I don't know. The less handsome bit doesn't track. Have you seen Terry? He's quite handsome.
He's very handsome.
Compared to Q,
Yeah. Sorry,
You don't know
Terry. Terry's
there's
way
no
more
official
handsome.
art of Q. You don't know if he's more attractive
What?
than a dog or not.
What is Q's appearance stat?
It's above a dog's.
That's what you think.
Inaccurate.
Terry
Is
dumped
appearance a stat?
all points into
Yes.
appearance.
Where is appearance? Is it a stat?
Yes,
Yes, it is. It's a social
Good thing in
stat.
V5.
Leilani.
Get out of V5, but in the 20.
I
You
love
taught her
the
to
loop.
walk
That's
up
not
the
a
stairs,
stat.
and now you're yelling that she's walking up the stairs.
No,
I'm-
I'm doing that because she's grabbing shit.
Oh yeah, mine. It's above the minimum.
It's above the minimum. It's above a 0.
Listen,
all above the
there's a type for everyone. Every shape goes in its slot. Everything has its
That's
place on its
right.
shelf.
The square hole.
Dogs just roll around on the floor.
And look adorable while doing it.
Hmm.
So what is Q's appearance, Luke?
So does this person say anything else about the chandelier person? Tan skin, short hair, headphones,
Smelled.
smell. Yeah, well, probably the brimstone thing.
Yeah,
Pecan
definitely.
10. That means
Pecan
African
10.
American.
Petan.
I've never heard that before.
It's a phrase that a old friend of mine used to use. He's like, "I'm not black, I'm pecan tan." Because she was a lighter skinned person.
Did he pronounce pecan like in that movie?
Pecan.
Pecan?
Pecan.
In reindeer games, he said pecan pie. It was a notable mispronunciation of the word pecan, or otherwise pronunciated.
Pecan is also
Another-
a proper pronunciation for it.
There's also Ben Affleck from Daredevil, Evanescence, the movie. It's a connection to earlier. It's a callback that
Okay.
was
Anyway.
poorly received. So we got a description of the thief. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, the bus driver might know where he dropped
Where
him
he
off
dropped
at the end, but
But
yeah,
he's got that sign up there. How do we talk to a bus driver?
wait for him to stop.
Yeah, the thing I suggested before you decided to play, I need to be the weirdest person on the bus.
I don't think I succeeded, but I don't think it wasn't a waste of the ride though. And we were going to be sitting on a bus anyways.
I feel like you thoroughly made yourself the weirdest person in the thing. Aside from Holly. I mean,
I'm going to give this
she is a
person
stripper after all.
the person who talked to us. I'm going to give them one of my cards.
Give him drugs? What?
One of my cards.
Oh,
I mean, it is Baltimore. That is how you pay people, right?
If you need anything
Hand them
repaired,
drugs.
refurbished, or anything, come by.
can you finish microwaves?
Is that a type of egg? Waveless?
Microwave it. Microwave it.
Microwave. Oh yes, yes. I can fix a microwave.
Cool.
Make it good as new.
It's a French one, right?
Microwave it. Yeah, Samsung. French. Yeah, no, that's cool. Got one that really good one, but it went up the other day. The Galvatron kind of broke in it or something, I think.
Galvatron's a lesser known Midwest rapper, as well as a microwave component.
That's my favorite Transformer.
Sometimes people use the names of lesser known aspects of machines in a way to sound futuristic or sci-fi.
I was trying to make a joke, but you went a whole different level there, Luke.
No, I saw him live once. He opened for MC Chris.
Galvatron is a transformer who once was Magnatron, and the part on the microwave is a Megatron or a Magnetron. Megatron, Galvatron.
I
That
don't
was
know
the
any of these
joke.
things. None of these things are
Kev,
registering with me.
It's funny because I knew that was a transformer, and I have no clue about transformers.
Until we
If it's
played
not-
RPG.
If Michael Bay didn't say it, I don't know what it is. And that's not saying anything good or bad about any part of this.
So, yeah. So when the bus driver stops, turns around and it's like, "You are some obnoxious people."
We're aware.
Anyway, the
I know where
person
to point
with
at because of the
the
sign.
anyway, to preempt you from coming up and bugging me too much, the person with the obnoxious chandelier got off at blah blah blah. Stop.
There you go. The bug you then.
Same person's gone off at that stop multiple times. If you plan on doing crime against this individual, don't tell me I know nothing.
Exactly.
All right. And as you get the information, we will actually be stopping there. Leilani's starting to get
Sleepy.
baby. Yeah, she's starting to get baby.
She's always baby.
She wants me to play Final Fantasy 16.
So anyway, thank you for joining us. Again, hopefully you've been enjoying them. I know our episodes sometimes can be a bit chaotic and wild, but baby does that to people. We still try to enjoy, and we also show that even those who are new parents with a 10-month-old can enjoy and play RPGs. It's not the end of the world, people. Especially when you have such a little angel like us who really is. Yeah, see, she tends to be very nice. We don't got a colicky baby thing. So thank you for joining us. Continue watching all the episodes on our thing. The screen froze on Leilani's huge ass head.
Right on her forehead.
An alien.
Oh, she like minimized everything.
She looks so proud of it. We can't hear you, Kat. You're muted.
You muted, Katrina.
She looks so proud of herself that she managed to minimize it, though.
She put us in airplane mode again.
Wow. We know. So thank you for joining us. Keep watching our shows, and until next time, hope you had a good time and good week.
Bye.